Hello Gemini, and welcome to your June 2021 reading. I'm really excited to help you walk through the Mercury Retrograde, which is in your sign, and also the solar eclipse, and we just went through a lunar eclipse. Let's look into your energy today for the sun, moon, and rising signs. If you don't know your sun, moon, and rising sign, you can look in the description box down below for a free site that will take you to what you need. If this reading does not resonate with you, remember that energies can be reversed, means that you can assign the roles any way you like, but stick around because there may be something in the reading that you need to hear. These messages are timeless, and that means that even if you were to listen to this message a year from now or 2 years from now, if God brought you here, it's because there's something in it for you, whether it's today or in the future. If this reading does not resonate with you, it just means that I'm not picking up on your specific energy at the time. If there are cards in here that you want to resonate with you, but they're just not yet, that's okay, because all you have to do is go to the video, What Are They Thinking About You, April 2021, and at the end of that video, it explains on how to raise your vibration in order to match the cards that you're looking at and that you're wanting to bring into your life. Because all of manifestation is in your hands anyway. So if there's things in here that you like, great, use it. If there's things in here that you don't like and it doesn't resonate with you, that's okay too. During this reading, the angels are bringing the Holy Fire Reiki energy to you. And at the end of this video, I will release the trapped emotions for your sign. I will let you know what essential oils and maybe even some crystals that can help maximize your energy. So check out the description box down below for all the details. If you like this reading or you were entertained in some way, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. This way you can get notified as soon as I post something new. So before we get started, what I'm going to do is talk about some major things that are going to be happening in June so that you can understand where we're going before we get into your actual reading. There's a new moon solar eclipse that's going to be happening on June 10th. We're going to talk about that. Also, Mercury Retrograde is going to be for the entire month of June. And then we just got out of a lunar eclipse, which is probably should be still feeling some of the effects from, which was really wild, crazy energy. So if you've been feeling off balance, that's why. I did a video about the lunar eclipse. That will be in the description box down below so that you can get some more information about that. And it's for all signs, so you can watch your sign or all of the signs. Doesn't really matter how you do it. It's going to be a very intense month from mid-May until the end of July. And that's just because of everything that's happening. But this month is very important for people because it's about changes. It's about surprises. It's about making the instability stable again. So eclipses, whether they are lunar or solar, the eclipses are very important because they make things appear, things that you didn't know before. Like for instance, there was a friend of mine who we went over her retirement for her, and she didn't realize how close she was to retirement because she just assumed that this pension was going to take care of her instead of realizing that she could have just taken that money out and put it in a Roth IRA, and then she could build up her own money for herself opposed to giving it to the pension. That when she passes, the pension takes your money. You know, they may take care of you while you're alive, but what happens to your family and that extra money, that extra growth, right? She doesn't get the extra growth. The family would only get whatever she put in, which was very small compared to the growth, right? So that's what I'm saying. Something like that. You can get really big things that make sudden life changes for you, that make you go, you know, I really need to take a look at that again. And that's what's so important about the eclipse season, about the retrogrades. Please don't fear any of this stuff because it's the thing that you go, man, I wish I knew that, because if I would have known that, I would have made a different decision. And it really is it can be a very positive experience for you if you go into the mindset that way. Instead of the mindset of, oh my gosh, changes in my life, I think I'm done. You know what I mean? We don't need to do that, right? Okay. So, very interesting things. We're going to talk a little bit about Mercury Retrograde first before I get into your reading as well, because you need to know some things. Mercury Retrograde is about misunderstandings, miscommunication, restlessness. You might be jumping around to a bunch of ideas. So you may be feeling the effects of the lunar eclipse that we just had, where you might be feeling like you're pulled in a million places, or you just have so many ideas of things that you want to do. When we're in Mercury retrograde, we want to make sure that we don't jump to conclusions. That's really important. We want to make sure that we kind of wait on major decisions. It's not that you can't make major decisions. It's just really a month of planning is better. Because what can happen is if you make major decisions, quick major decisions like, let's get married. You know what I mean? Like you just met a person and you want to get married right away. It could turn into disappointment. You could backtrack a lot in the relationship, lots of redos. And then also we have where there's probably, because of the solar eclipse, there's probably going to be a large correction in the stock market, but it's going to be temporary. So those people who have money in the stock market, the best thing that we always do is we always just stay. Don't freak out. Don't pull your money out and create a panic. Because it's possible there's going to be a correction because of the energy and the planets. And so just be aware of that and take a deep breath, and whatever you do, try not to do major things like pulling all of your money out of the stock market because there was a correction and now you're like, oh, we're going to lose all of our money because of, in our Bitcoin and everything. Just don't do that. Just say, you know what, if I'm going to make any major decisions, it's going to be in the middle of July or the end of July. I'm just not going to do it right now, but I will make the decision. I'm just not going to do it right now. Because finances is a big thing with all of those planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Aquarius, all of those planets. Finances is really big for that. And finance is also really big when we're talking about the Mercury retrograde as well. We could spend too much, or we could plan for our future. So it's really whatever decision you're going to make. New moon solar eclipse is in Gemini on June 10th. That could bring on a correction around that area. But that right after that, though, Mars goes into Leo on June 11th, which is going to give everybody the courage to push forward to their goals. So even though we're going to be in Mercury retrograde, you are going to get this feeling of wanting to push it forward towards your goals. And that's fine. Just make sure that we're not starting a brand new business. It's good to start a business, but make sure we're in the planning stage and that you actually do the launch after the Mercury retrograde, which is July, the middle of July, okay? Now, June 12th, then we have Venus is very powerful, and then you're going to want to feel like going to parties and love and creativity and all of those things. And then June 13th, you're going to get more secrets revealed by the sun, because the sun is going to start shining bright and big in the solar system, so we're all going to get illuminated as well. So it's going to be a very, very powerful month. My job for you is to give you as much information as you can so that you can move through it. Please use the support of your friends. Maybe I'll even post a suicide hotline in case some of you guys need to talk to someone and you don't want to talk to your friends. Because it could, I'm not saying it's going to be that horrible, but it depends on your astrology and what you're going through in life and how many changes you're going to have. And so what I'm saying is the energy won't last forever. So for those of you who are feeling like you can't do this anymore or whatever, that could be a feeling, because whenever the energy is big and we're not understanding it, or we're not linking two and two together, then we could have that feeling. Some things that you want to remember for the Mercury retrograde is that you might be forgetful. It's going to pass. All of this is going to pass. You might have a hard time making up your mind about things. You might change your mind a lot, going back and forth. You might second guess yourself. You might have issues with your cell phone, your computer, your electronic devices. You might need to plan a little bit better for trips, road trips and car trips and plane trips. Just make sure you leave a lot earlier and a lot for more time. Like, don't leave at the last minute, because Mercury rules over communication and travel. So make sure that you are just giving yourself ample amount of time when you're driving. Try to get your car serviced before the retrogrades next time. And if you didn't do it, make sure you do it after the retrograde. Get your car serviced, get your cell phones and things like that repaired and stuff after the retrograde, unless you need it repaired right now. But just be aware that there could be a lot of back and forth with the repairs, and just let it go, be what it is, be very fluid through this time. It's not really a good time for making contracts. You can do it, you just have to look at all the details. You can't just go okay and sign it like you could at a non-retrograde time, or you have before at other times and everything was worked out, because you might not have all of the information to make a great deal. So that's why you don't really want to do contracts or promises or something like that during the retrograde. It's just because you may not have all of the information. You might like want to buy something and think it's a great deal and then want to sign the contract, but then right after Mercury retrograde, it goes on sale. So that's why you kind of want to wait. And so if you can wait, just say, hey, I'd love to do this with you. I think I'm just going to wait until the end of July. And I did that when I bought my house. So I found the house that I wanted during the retrograde, and I almost bought a house during the retrograde, but because I knew this, I was like, I don't know. And then I found out later that the house had a natural spring on it, and even the landscaper was like, I wouldn't have bought that house, which is really good because I ended up not buying that home because it was the retrograde. That's why I didn't buy it. And then I waited till right after into the shadow period. Then I found a house, and then we didn't actually sign the contract until the retrograde was completely over. So just so that you are aware of that, there are ways of working around it. And I was very clear with my realtor, I'm not buying a home during the retrograde. My realtor probably thought I was crazy because she didn't really know much about it, and I understand, but I know. And if you know, you can just be like, hey, if we can hold off on this, I'd like to. Now, if you've already been making plans for something for a really long time and the event happened in the retrograde, it's supposed to, and that's okay. So I have a lot of people who've been looking for jobs, and they're like, oh, am I not supposed to take a job right now? No, if you've been doing it well before, then yes, you totally can. If this is something that you've been doing for right before the retrograde and then it just popped up. Now, if a job pops up in the retrograde that you had not in your awareness, that could be a good thing because of the solar eclipse, but it might not be a good thing too. So be careful and make sure you cross your T's and dot your I's and check every detail and ask for more information. Don't just assume. Don't assume anything during the retrograde. Make sure you're very clear about your communication. Make sure you know all the details about the job. Make sure that you know everything and see if maybe you can't hold off on actually signing the contract until the shadow period at least. Those are some things to kind of look at. I'll put the link to the dates of the Mercury retrograde in the description box down below as well, so that you can click on that and you can see all of the dates for the Mercury retrograde so you can plan your life accordingly and just in a very good way. Okay, Gemini, before we get started though, I do want to tell you a little bit about what's going to be happening with Mercury retrograde specifically for your sign, and then we'll go ahead and pull the energy. So astrology-wise, Mercury is your ruling planet. So it's really, really great for you. Everybody else might be struggling a little bit through it, but you're going to be feeling amazing. It's very strong and favorable for you, and it will be happening for you for over the next 2 months. You're going to feel this energy of just being mentally strong. You're going to be super sharp, clear-minded. You're going to be able to articulate yourself very well. So you're going to be able to have those conversations that you've been putting off. You're going to be focusing on improving your health more. Whenever Mercury is in your sign and ruling over your sign, then it's really ruling over your physical body as well. And so you're going to be wanting to look at maybe the way you eat, the way you exercise, your sleep. I mean, anything that has to do with health. You might be making some changes in that area and planning a different way of life for yourself than you've never done before. And that's going to be really exciting because health is really important to you. And I think that it's something that you're going to be wanting to concentrate on this month. So it's very good for sales and marketing yourself, or marketing and negotiating and all of those things. Marketing maybe a home or a car, or selling something. You will be able to sell stuff this month. So, but all of those things are Mercury. So selling, communication, improving your health, all of those things is what your planet ruling over you is going to look like for you. Over the next 2 months, you're going to be a lot more talkative. You're going to want to think a lot more. You're going to want mental stimulation. So you're looking for things that you can study, things that you can write. Any way that you can communicate yourself, you're going to want to do that. So that's really, really exciting. It sounds like it's going to be really wonderful because Gemini, if you've been in a period of just thinking too much and not actually speaking about what you're thinking and been up in your head a little too much, now is the time that you're going to start to really want to talk about those things. So very hard conversations. It's a great month for that. Opening up new conversations is it's great energy for that. I mean, it's going to be really wonderful. I'm really excited for you, Gemini. Let's see what's happening in your actual energy. So that you know, the emotions that we're going to release are abandonment in your heart at 3 years old and resentment in your liver at the age of 15. And then we'll also talk about the oils as well. I want to thank all of you guys who've liked and subscribed. I'm really close to my 500 goal of subscribers. That's so cool. All the comments that you leave are awesome. All of the donations that you give me, thank you so much. And just all of the sharing, everything that you've done. I just really appreciate it. Gemini, you guys have been great. You were one of the videos that had a lot of views too, so I appreciate you for that. I actually started out this time with the people with the signs that had the most views, because that made me think, well, maybe those are most of my subscribers. So I was like, I think I'll start with those signs. So keep watching and you will get, your videos will come out first. All right. Okay. And I didn't come out with anything yesterday because it was my son's birthday, and I don't do anything on my children's birthdays except for honor them and love them. So it's all about them on their birthday. So I was not going to be doing anything else. All right. So let's see. I'm only accepting the highest and best truth for Gemini's highest and best good, bringing forth the most accurate answers. Okay. Beautiful energy to start with. That's awesome. Yep. Great. Okay, that's interesting because Libra got the same energy that they were coming out of. Okay, not saying you're dealing with a Libra, but you and Libra could have been, and there's the card of communication. Look at that. Yep. Oh, Libra got some of these same things. Interesting. Not all of them, but very interesting. And the card on the bottom is the Hermit card, which is interesting. That seems to me like it's going to be more up in your brain. And because the next card that came out was being a hermit, about having your cups overflowing. So we'll talk about that in a second. Actually, they're just showing me all of these things. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, they're telling me to talk about these, even though, and they're showing me, oh, I can't even like put these cards down. They just want me to give you them all. Okay, all right. Chill out. We'll talk about them. Where's the other one? Right here. Okay. Wow, this is going to be an amazing month for you. I have two very special Geminis in my life, and they have been needing this type of energy, and I'm really excited for them. Okay, so they're saying that, oh my gosh, I can barely even hold these cards. They're saying that through your tower moment that you just went through. Yes, you just went through a tower moment. You just went through a transformation. Good for you, Gemini, because, ooh, some of you guys went through some big ones. So, and you are definitely seeing things differently now. And because of that, it's making you be up in your head about it and really like, I just think that you're really liking it. This isn't, normally this is like a card of like, you know, a crab going back into their shell and like hiding and kind of, but that's not what I'm feeling with this card. So for those of you who saw the Hermit and you're like, no, not the Hermit. I'm so tired of hermiting. I know, I got you. No, this is a little bit different. This is more like you being up in your head about all the things that you've learned and really just enjoying how beautiful they are and how much you are so thankful that you had this tower moment to help you see things differently, to bring you into the Hermit energy where you're just really up in your head. You can see the light now. You can see what God's been trying to show you all these years. And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm moving in the right direction. It feels so good. Like to be in your energy right now, I have chills all over my body. Like it is crazy to be in your energy right now. So I'm excited for you. And what you're thinking about is everything. You're thinking about everything in your life that you've always wanted and how that's good, how you know now. It's not even like, it's not even about dreaming anymore. How you know now that it's going to come true. Like that's beautiful. This is one of my favorite aces. It's the gift of love. It's a gift of relationships. You're going to feel really, really in your emotional body, but it's not going to be like, oh, I'm emotional. It's going to be like fullness, like a feeling of fullness and a feeling of connection and a feeling of like, man, I haven't felt this way in forever. Like you're going to feel lit up and like this light is going to go into your body. Oh my gosh. That's why they were telling me to do this Gemini reading. They were like, do Gemini next. I was like, okay. Anyway, yeah, you're going to feel great. You're going to have so many positive emotions of creativity and growth, and you're going to just appreciate every moment of this June. You are so lucky. You are so lucky right now because Mercury is in your sign and it's retrograded in your sign. You know what that means? It means not only is in your sign, but it's going to move slowly through your sign and backwards through your sign. It's like, to me, it feels like it's massaging your sign, right? Like let's massage all the greatness that we can out of the universe to give it to Gemini this month. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Like how beautiful is that? And that what they're saying is like you are going to feel like a knight charging in. You are going to, like a knight saving the world. Like I'm charging in now. And I have a really good friend who's working on her doctorate and she's a Gemini. And I'm so excited for her because you need this energy. You're going to feel like saving the world with that dissertation. You're going to feel like, and I have to give you that reading because that's what came to my mind. So when you watch this, that's the feeling you're going to get. And it's writing, communication. So you're going to feel like doing it all. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Like, and they say it's going to be great, fast moving energy. You're going to feel like a knight about to save their princess, right? Like, I'm just thinking of like Disney, right? Like Sleeping Beauty, here I come, and I'm going to give you that true love kiss you've always been waiting for. It doesn't have to be romance, but it's just the feeling of charging in and slaying that dragon. Ha! Like, no more dragon. You know, and then you're like, charging up the castle and saving the day. I just love it. And everybody wakes up from their delusions and their illusions and whatever because Gemini did this. You did this romantic thing. This, not romantic, but you did this. It could be romantic, but you did this, this life-saving, wonderful, world-changing event. Wow, is that amazing? I love it, Gemini. Okay. Where you're coming from is a very guarded way. Like you were super guarded. The last energy that you're moving from. If you're still guarded, you're going to be moving into better energy. So I'm excited for you. This is a very guarded energy. It's a very like holding on to their pentacles, and I'm not going to tell anybody anything. And I got stuff in my heart I don't want anybody to know. And it's just like that type of energy. You're going to move out. You're moving out of that energy. So that one's going bye-bye. I got all kinds of people texting me already this morning. Like, I need to talk. I'm like, I need to get some videos out. I love you. And we'll talk when I am done. But all right, so the next thing is where the energy of June. We know the overall stuff that's going to be happening because they just showed all of that beautiful energy, but the energy of June is the King of Pentacles. Oh, this is my favorite king. He's my favorite king. The King of Pentacles is a very earth-grounded person. He could be an earth sign or have the energy of an earth sign of Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. A very responsible, very reliable, generous, visionary. They plan a lot. They work hard. That's how the feeling is that. You know, you're supportive, everything. It's like, you know, how you want that concrete ground, that stability in the ground. That's why they put concrete on before they put before they build a house is what they're showing me. You're going to have that. And this is so amazing because it's saying like, this is the month that conflicts for you are going to be resolved. Any conflict that you have, you're going to be able to resolve it this month. That is beautiful. And not only that, but it's crossing over by you're learning and teaching. Man, does Gemini get this one a lot too? You guys get this card a lot. But the card that crosses over that beautiful energy of just generous, visionary planning, all of this stuff is teaching. And yeah, that makes sense. So maybe through your writing, maybe through your communication, you're going to be teaching someone something and somebody's going to learn something from you. So maybe it could be a hard lesson they need to learn, right? Or it might be like I talked about that girl's my friend's dissertation. It could be that she's going to be teaching people things, right? And this could be whatever conversations, whatever comes up this month, whatever conflicts are going to be resolved, those lessons are going to be resolved. The karmic lessons are going to be resolved. Dissolved is what I'm hearing. Karmic lessons are going to dissolve. That's beautiful. You're asking about your happiness. Like, am I making the right decisions for my happiness? Because I've been doing this for a while. I've been very methodical about what I'm doing. Am I moving in the right direction? You know, am I going to be happy if I make these changes? If I have the courage to have these conversations, if I have the courage to move in this direction, if I have the courage to do it, will I be happy? That's what you're asking. And that is really, it's coupled with the fear of looking over your life, or even the hopefulness of looking over your life. So that's two different ways. The shadow period of the shadow side of this card is looking over the past, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Looking over the past doesn't always have to be bad. It could be like looking over the past and being like, I did exactly what I was supposed to do, whatever I was contracted to do, whatever I said I was going to do. Like, for instance, I look at my real dad. My real dad was never in the picture, and he wasn't a great father. But if my real dad didn't do that for me, then I wouldn't have had the love that I got from my stepfather, who was a great father, who was the father figure, who, although he wasn't allowed to show me love because of my mother, he did interject it in places, and he did provide that role for me as best he could. So looking back at my life, I could review my life and say that my father, my real dad, he did what he was supposed to do. He did what was contracted for me so that I could feel real love. Because my stepfather was responsible, he was reliable, he was a really hard worker. He showed me security, and if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had the life that we had. Even though emotionally it was jacked up because of my mother, like on the outside, and the stability was there. It gave me something to hold on to and something to grasp, even though my life was in shambles. It gave me something to feel good about. So, and that's kind of explaining this card. And on the other side of that is reviewing your life and saying, when I get older, who do I want to be with? What do I want it to look like? What kind of do I want to have a job? Where do I want to live? Those types of things, right? So it's like coupled with all of that. So you're looking at your happiness and saying, can I be happy about my past? Can I be happy about my future? And that's awesome. That's very deep, you guys. All right, now, the energy that you're moving into is the energy of being super stable. You have put all of these pillars up in your life. You have set everything up precisely in a specific way, depending only on yourself to do this. And so you have boom, 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 boom. You've never expected anything from anybody else. It's always been, I can do this myself. I will put these up myself. And when I'm ready, I will. I'm seeing like a butterfly that's cocooned and then opened up and flown away. And when I'm ready, I will soar. And I will soar. And that's the energy that's coming to you next. So you're going to be feeling really good, being in like a teaching kind of feeling, but you're going to know that you did everything right. Everything the way that it was supposed to. There is no more guilt and shame. This is who I am. If you love me, you love me. If you don't, you don't. This is who I am. This is who I said I would be, and this is who I am. It's like how you're coming forward. Very good. The next, the energy that you're going to be in the month of June is movement. Lots of movement, lots of communication. So these birds up here, birds always mean communication. Wheels always mean moving. The Wheel of Fortune is really also exactly that. Anything you want, all you have to do is make the move. You got it. You got it. Anything you want. You got it. Anything at all. You got it. It's like that. Like the universe is saying, what do you want, Gemini? What do you want? Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. And all of those things on the wheel, there's no bad spots. There's no bankruptcy. There's none of that. It's like it's like the lucky wheel. I'm seeing that. I like to play Yahtzee. I've been playing Yahtzee forever online. I'm really good at it. Like I never pay for it because I'm so good at it, right? There's something about numbers that calms me down. So I like to really relax playing Yahtzee. And it's funny because there's this thing on Yahtzee that it has a wheel, and no matter what you spin, you're going to win dice. Like, it's beautiful, right? I always hope for that, and I always wish for that Wheel of Fortune. And it's like, that's what you guys are going to get. You're going to get the one that has everything you spin on there. You're going to get everything you want. It's almost like I'm seeing like a picture of a wheel that has the same thing on every single one because it's everything that you want. And when you spin it, it doesn't matter. You're going to get it anyway, right? But lots of communication is going to be happening, very spiritually guided. Your mind is going to be so intrigued with these conversations. You're just going to be like, man, why did I wait so long to venture into this? Like, I'm so full of, gosh, I don't know. I just feel like there's like they're showing me, they have to show me because sometimes it's hard to explain. I feel like a cup, and it's just been poured into, and it's like just going to start overflowing because it's just like full of happiness and love and support. Wow, that's gorgeous. The people around you are going to be, this is interesting. So a page of Pentacles means that there's going to be money news. The people around you might be seeing people's talent shine. You might be seeing them get money. You might be seeing them get job offers. They might, if they do, they need to make sure they check the details. You're going to see people start to be successful around you, and that's going to make you feel pretty rewarded too. Like, it's just going to make the whole energy around you even better, because then somebody's not dipping down into their BS, you know what I mean? They're not dipping down in their drama. So there definitely going to be some money stuff coming in some way for the people around you, because that whenever there's Pentacles is money. This is also like talent shining. You know, like this is like the guy's looking at the pentacle and it's shining. That means talent shining, right? You have lots of different signs in here. You have earth signs, you have fire signs. So it could pretty much be anybody. You even have water signs. So everybody you know is going to feel great. That's good, because that means that you can really live in your beautiful energy and not have to like, oh gosh, I guess I'll separate myself from your BS right now and go do my own thing, you know, because I can't. I want to be in my beautiful energy. No, everybody around you is going to be feeling pretty good too, which is crazy because we're going to be in a retrograde. I wonder if it's just your energy is so strong that every time somebody gets around you, they have no other choice but to vibrate with you. You know what I mean? Or they're just not going to come around you. That's pretty interesting. So you're going to be vibrating super, super high. Oh my gosh, that's good, because my other really good Gemini friend, she'd been in the hospital for a while, and oh man, that was really sad to see her go through that. So I'm glad that she's going to be feeling amazing. So this is good. This is really good. What is the outcome? The Empress energy is the outcome. Oh, I love that. So either if you're a man or a woman and you're looking for another man or a woman, then you're going to get them in the way that you want them to be. Like, you're going to get your Empress. And there's no gender to this card. It could be a man or a woman. You're going to get your Empress. You're going to get the feelings that you had with this person. They will come back, and you will feel really good. And it's going to make you feel super powerful. So if there's something returning from your past, that will come back in like the most. This is the best card you can get in the deck, the entire deck. Everybody wants the Empress card. The Empress can do no wrong. Empress can take any man, or any man from any woman, like, and she doesn't want to, but she could. She could walk in a room. When she walks in a room, everybody's heads turn. Everybody loves the Empress. She's amazing. And that's the energy that you're going into. And some of you could be having that Empress energy because you already had the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. You're going to feel so good. And guess what it's coupled by? The card of Leo, which is, and this is just the energy of Leo, is the sun. Illumination, happiness, fertility. And that could be fertility of children, but it can also be fertility, like, of life. Just breathing new life into your life again, and going into that. You know, Gemini, if there's ever been a time in your life where everything went right, and it could have just been like a couple minutes for some of you, are like, nothing's ever gone right. You know what I mean? But if there's ever been a time in your life where you feel like everything was just beautiful, you're going to feel that again in the month of June. Oh my gosh. I'm so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm hearing it, month of June. June. Isn't June Gemini? Gemini, it's your birthday month? I can't believe I missed that. It's the beginning of Gemini's birthday month. Is that right? Gemini. Taurus is ending. And then Gemini. Yeah. It's your birthday month. You got 10 wishes. You got 10 wishes, so write down your wishes, and you got 10 of them. And what I do is put them, I say my 10 birthday wishes, and I write all 10 of them down, and then I put them like in an envelope, and You know, I put them somewhere secret. You could put it under your pillow. You could put it under your mattress. If you don't want anybody to know, like maybe you're in a relationship and you don't want that person to know and you don't want to be discreet, you could always burn it if you wanted to and just say, hey, make this happen, God. You could do that too. Or you could just keep it with you. You could file it somewhere. Sometimes I like to do that, file it, and then I find it. I'm like, and I see that everything kind of came true, and it's really cool. Great manifestation tool. All right, so where are you going? And so this is 1 to 3 months from now. Where are you going to be, say, 6 months from now? Definitely strong. And okay, they're telling me this isn't 6 months from now because you're still going to be communicating, because they're showing me you already got 1 card of communication. Because there's only 1 card in the deck of communication, they gave it to me in another place, and they tried to make this one that I could use get lots of information from. So this means that you're still going to be communicating and you're still going to be moving in the right direction. It's the same card. Basically, they're saying you're still going to be in the Wheel of Fortune. You're still going to get everything that you want, even 6 months from now. So from now until 6 months from now, you are going to be in the best energy of your life. Oh my gosh. Like, it's literally like God is showing me that everything that you prepared for, you're going to move in that direction now. You're finally going to get everything that you want. Oh my gosh. That is horribly beautiful. Horribly. That is wonderfully beautiful, right? Oh my gosh. Okay. So Gemini, let's talk about your oils. Magnolia and ginger. I don't have either one of those here. I'll just talk about them. They're upstairs. I thought I had magnolia down here. But I use oils. They're all over my house. So for me to go searching for oils, sometimes it takes me a while. So I'll just tell you what they are, as we use them all the time. Okay, magnolia is the oil of compassion. It connects people with the energy of compassion. So it will help you become more in your feminine body. So we do need to be balanced in our feminine and our masculine. So for those of you who've been living more in a masculine mindset or masculine emotional body, we need you to get more in the feminine spiritual source. It will help you become more tender in your heart. So for those of you who've been working on releasing the trapped emotions, you've been doing a lot of shadow work, then you do definitely want to use some magnolia to create some love and harmony in your heart for human interconnectedness, which makes sense because you're going to be having some really great conversations. You're going to want to connect on an emotional level for probably the first time in a while. Like, you're going to want to open that door and you're going to be like, all right, I really feel like this person that I want to have this deep conversation with is mature enough and compassionate enough and loving enough for me to have this type of conversation with. And I would like to try, is kind of what I'm hearing. Because Gemini, you've been closed off for a while. So I'm hearing that you've always wanted to have those kind of conversations, but you have not found the person to do that with, to practice. That's the word I'm hearing. To practice with. You've yet to find that person, and you will find this person in this month, or you already know who this person is, and you're going to want to take the initiative to try. So it's going to bring in connectedness, compassionate, interconnectedness. You're going to feel unified with this oil, magnolia, and then it's going to help you be more insightful, which you're wanting to do, perceptive, which I think that you want to make sure that when you come to this person that you are perceptive and that you're respectful and kind, because you believe that this person deserves your kindness and your respectfulness. And you don't want to come to them as masculine as you've been because you feel like that might be too rough for them, right? And you want to love this person. You want to give this person the love that you think that they deserve and that they deserve. Magnolia is great for that. Magnolia will also help you dispel whatever you've been clouding the ability to see in other human beings, that maybe you haven't been able to relate to people. Maybe you haven't had the desire for other people because you've seen their ugliness and you've seen their meanness, and then you just thought everybody was like that. And that's not the case. And you know that's not the case because you've met someone that has shown you that that's not the case. And you want to make sure that you stay in that space for them. Okay, that you're in the space of loving kindness and compassion and connectedness, because you really, really, really want to feel connected. You really want that. So that's a really great oil. Awesome. Let's talk about the next one is ginger. Beautiful oil. Love this oil. It's in my kitchen. That's why I don't have it here. I'm downstairs. I'm in my basement. Ginger is the oil of empowerment. It holds no reservations. It powerfully persuades individuals to be fully present and participate in life. It teaches you to be successful, wholly committed to something. If commitment is an issue for you, then ginger will help you to commit more. It is great for helping you feel capable and purposeful and accountable and all of those wonderful things. It's great for someone who refuses to take responsibility for life and blames other people. If you find yourself in that, if you find yourself in victim mentality, ginger is what you need to use, and that will help you with that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to your trapped emotions. And the first one is abandonment in your heart at the age of 3, and the second one is a resentment in your liver at the age of 15. Let's get rid of that so that you can have the conversations that you want to have with this person. Okay, and you can come back to this and release this as many times as you feel like you need to. You can release this before the conversations that you have with someone. And you can say, I don't want my abandonment issue to come out. I don't want my resentment issue to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and release those before I even talk to them. You know, you could do those things. So come back to this video as many times as you need to. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're entertained by this reading in some way, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified as soon as I post something new. All right, let's move on. Gemini, I want you to find a comfortable place. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take some deep breaths. Ground yourself. Relax yourself. Find a place you won't be disturbed in your mind and in your heart and your body. If you need to lay down, you can lay down. Whatever you need to do. And listen to the beautiful music. And let that relax your soul and let that relax your mind. And what we're going to do is we're going to invite Archangel Michael in. And we're going to invite your angels and your spirit guides and your higher self, your inner child who went through these things and was hurt by these things. We're going to invite them in. And we are going to breathe in, breathe out. And I want you to breathe in, and this time I want you to breathe into your heart. And I want you to find that abandonment. I want you to find that hole in your heart. Okay? I want you to hold your heart with your mind. And I want you to start filling in the hole with some love. Hear the love in the music. Archangel Michael, can we have your bright light? And angels and guides, can we have you focus in on that Reiki energy into the heart that we've been pouring in? Can you focus into the Gemini's heart and focus in on filling in that hole that the abandonment left at the age of 3? Okay? And while you do that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to focus in on releasing that abandonment so that we can put more light into that heart and into that hole. Ready? Breathe out the abandonment at the age of 3. If you don't remember anything at the age of 3, then think of something today that makes you feel like you're abandoned. Maybe your lover isn't giving you the love that you want. Maybe your job isn't respecting you and giving you the job that you want or the promotion that you want. Maybe your parents aren't really giving you the love that you wanted, that you needed. You know, there's something missing and you know it, and there's a hole, and we're going to fill it in. Ready? Breathe in. And breathe out that abandonment. Let it go. Very beautiful, Gemini. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask God to take that abandonment and turn it into light energy so that nobody ever has to feel that abandonment that you felt. Nobody ever has to feel that pain. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to breathe this time, and we're going to allow the angels and guides to go ahead and keep filling in that hole. Thank you so much for filling in the hole of abandonment in my heart. Thank you for the gift of having me come to this reading so that I could release this trapped emotion of abandonment. Thank you, God. Thank you. I've held on to this abandonment since I was 3 years old. It's caused a lot of problems in my life, God, and I'm so happy to get rid of it. Please, thank you. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that we go to our liver. I want you to think about your liver. All right, if you don't know where your liver is, just pretend like you know where it is and think about your liver, okay? And inside of your liver is your inner child is sitting there. It's your 15-year-old inner child who just went through something really horrible at 15. And maybe you don't remember what that was because maybe it was so bad that you don't remember. And that's okay. You could just think about something today that's really horrible that has created resentment in your life. But this 15-year-old has held on to this resentment since they were 15, right? Like this happened. And because of that, this 15-year-old has not been able to move on. This 15-year-old has not been able to grow emotionally. This 15-year-old has not been able to connect with anyone because it hurt so bad. There's nothing in the world that has ever hurt you more than that has hurt you at 15. And that resentment has lived in your body ever since. And you have vowed to never love again because it hurts so bad. I will never love anyone again because I am so mad and so hurt. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk to that 15-year-old. 15-year-old Gemini. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because the 15-year-old Gemini needs to hear that. They need to have the apology. You need to allow your 15-year-old to allow them to have the apology. They deserve it. 15-year-old Gemini, you deserve my apology. I am so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. 15-year-old Gemini, I will never hurt you again. And if I do, please tell me, and we will do this again and again, and let me apologize. Nobody's perfect, not even you, Gemini, right? And 15-year-old Gemini, I want to take that resentment from you so that you can love again and you can live again, and you can feel connected again, and you can be all of you again, and not feel like you have a hole, not feel like you're missing anything. 15-year-old Gemini, you deserve the world. You did then and you do now. So 15-year-old Gemini, I would ask, please, I need your permission to please give me your resentment. And the reason why I'm talking to you this way is because 15-year-old Gemini has held on to this resentment for a long time. No matter how much work you've done, Gemini, your 15-year-old self has held on to this resentment. And we need to ask this boy or girl, we need to ask them, please give me this. Hand it to me. I know there's some reserve. I know you don't want to let it go. I know that you believe that it made you who you are today. And that is true. And yet we don't need to hurt anymore. We don't need to do that. And I don't want you to hurt anymore. So 15-year-old Gemini, please, I have my hands open, so show them your hands. Show them your hands. And actually move your hands to being open in the real world, in the tangible world. Show them your hands. 15-year-old Gemini, please give me that resentment so that we can turn it into light energy and you can love again. Yes, I see the resentment. I mean, I see the reluctantness. I see that. We're not going to do that, though. 15-year-old Gemini, give me the resentment, please. Do you trust me? Okay, you may not trust me. Yes, okay, so I make you feel safe? All right, well, that's one step forward in the right direction. Okay, can you lean on how safe I make you feel? Can you lean into that and give me your resentment, please? Okay, so 15-year-old Gemini has decided to give you me, not you. They decided to give me. I have my hand open, so I'll take everybody's resentment. Okay? I get it. We got to build some trust within Gemini. I get it. So it's not me that you don't trust. That's what you're saying. Okay, and I got a big yes on that. It's not actual me, the reader of this reading, not Love Trippin, right? That you don't trust. It's actually Gemini doesn't trust himself and herself. Gemini doesn't trust themselves. Okay, can you give it to me then? Okay. So give it to me. And when you start letting go of that resentment, then you're going to be able to trust yourself. Okay? Because the older Gemini is not, the adult Gemini is not trying to hurt the inner child. I hope you know that. I hope you understand that. Okay? They've been hurt too. So give me all of your resentment, and I'm going to turn into light energy. So ready? Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. Is that all you want to give me? Do you have any more that you can give me? I'll take it. I'll take it all. I'm not afraid. Okay. All right, I'll take it. Breathe in. Give me more. Make it the biggest ball that you can make it and send it to me. Okay. I'm going to ask that God send anything that comes to me, even when I'm not at this in this reading. Please protect me from all of the energy that comes to me. Put a shield around me, and I'm asking that the angels are the ones that actually receive the resentment and not me personally, because my body is not meant to absorb all of that resentment, please. So I'm asking that all the angels and guides, I know that you were led me to say all of that, but I don't want to accept anybody's resentment, so I'm not accepting anyone's resentment. I'm asking the angels and guides to accept all resentment from all Geminis in the collective, because that's a whole lot of people, and that's a lot of people in the world, and I don't think that I can personally handle that. So please, the angels and guides are going to be the ones that accept all of your resentment. And so the 15-year-old does agree. I hear you, thank you. Agrees that they gave me to start it. Yes, it was okay to start it, but they're going to give it all to their angels and guides. So every time you do this recording, you're actually going to be giving it to your angels and guides now, because the 15-year-old can now do that. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that, because that would be a lot of energy for me to take on, so I appreciate it. Wow, let's do one more big round of deep breath. And breathe out. And let's thank your 15-year-old for being brave to do that. And now we understand what's going on, Gemini. We understand that there's a trust issue between you and yourself. And so if ever you feel like you've been trying to do releasing of trapped emotions, you need to talk in more with your 15-year-old and talk in more with, it's mainly the teenage years that you don't trust yourself in your teenage years. There's a little bit of non-trust in your younger years is what I'm hearing, but the younger years, there was still hope, and it wasn't until your teenage years that you lost the hope of trust within yourself. And that's really important, Gemini, because there's some of you guys that are doing some really important work, and trusting yourself is you have to be able to trust yourself. Like, I couldn't do what I do today if I don't trust myself. If I didn't trust, I mean, because really what I did sounds really crazy, right? And I can be really logical. And so I would look at that and be like, that is nuts. Like, I can't do that. But the more I've learned to trust myself, and the more I've learned about, and trusting yourself is doing the work, doing the shadow work, and watching your life change and watching your life become beautiful. You start to become more trusting of yourself. And your 15-year-old will start to trust yourself. Mine started to, I trust myself now, and I had a lot of things that made me not want to trust. Trust was one of my issues. So that's really important for you to know. Make sure that you do your shadow work on trust of yourself, because you can't do the things that you need to do in life and hear the messages that you need to hear from God if you're not trusting what you're hearing and seeing and smelling and touching. And that's really important. So you're probably going to need to come back to this as many times as possible. Maybe I'll do separate videos about these different things. I've been wanting to do it, but I don't know if I can do it. Anyway, Gemini, thank you so much. That was beautiful. I will tap out of this energy so that I don't accept any more resentment from anybody. I'll make sure that I tap out at the end of this reading so that you're giving it all to your angels and guides. Wow. If you like this reading, you're entertained in some way, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. This way you get notified as soon as I post something new. And I'm really excited to look at your energy at the middle of the month. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful month. I already hear that it's going to be amazing. So, bye.